October 29th, 1929. A day etched in history, not just in financial ledgers, but in the very soul of a nation. We call it Black Tuesday. But it was more than just a catastrophic market crash. It was the day an entire generation's belief in endless prosperity shattered into a million pieces. Welcome back to Finance House. Today, we're not just looking at charts and ticker tapes, we're exploring the moment the American dream itself seemed to go bankrupt. To truly understand the impact of Black Tuesday, we have to rewind the clock a little. Picture the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties. It was a decade-long party fueled by unprecedented optimism. World War I was over, technology was booming, radios, automobiles, refrigerators, and the stock market seemed like a one-way ticket to wealth. People from all walks of life, from factory workers to financiers, were pouring their life savings into stocks. The mantra was simple: everyone ought to be rich. The market became a national obsession, and its constant upward climb felt like a law of nature. Prosperity wasn't just a goal, it was an American birthright. This frenzy was built on a fragile foundation called buying on margin. Imagine you want to buy a $100 stock, but you only have $10. No problem. A broker would lend you the other $90. As long as the stock price went up, everyone was happy. You could sell it for $110, pay back the $90 loan plus a little interest, and you've nearly doubled your initial $10 investment. It seemed foolproof. But what happens when the stock price goes down? Suddenly, that $100 stock is worth only $90. The broker issues a margin call, demanding you pay back the loan immediately. But you don't have the money. You're forced to sell your stock at a loss, which pushes the price down even further, triggering a vicious cycle for others. This is the financial time bomb that was ticking beneath the glittering surface of the Roaring Twenties. The first tremors were felt on Thursday, October 24th, a day that would be ominously nicknamed Black Thursday. The market opened with a wave of panicked selling. Prices plunged. Crowds gathered outside the New York Stock Exchange, their faces a mixture of fear and disbelief. In a dramatic move, a group of Wall Street's most powerful bankers, including Richard Whitney, the vice president of the exchange, pooled their resources to buy up huge blocks of stock. Their intervention worked, temporarily. The market rallied, and a fragile sense of calm returned over the weekend. President Herbert Hoover even made a public statement reassuring the nation that the fundamental business of the country is on a sound and prosperous basis. For a moment, it seemed the disaster had been averted. The party could continue. But it was just the calm before the storm. The weekend gave investors time to think, and what they thought about was how close they'd come to ruin. The fear didn't disappear, it festered. When the markets opened on Monday, October 28th, the selling resumed with a vengeance. The banker's safety net was gone. This time, there was no rescue. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted by nearly 13%. Confidence evaporated completely. The stage was set for the final devastating act, and then came Black Tuesday, October 29th, 1929. The opening bell was less a signal to trade and more a starting pistol for a stampede. A record-shattering 16.4 million shares were traded in a single day, a record that would stand for nearly 40 years. But these weren't trades. They were acts of pure desperation. Everyone was selling and almost no one was buying. Ticker tapes fell hours behind, unable to keep up with the sheer volume of transactions. When the numbers finally caught up, they were catastrophic. Blue chip stocks, the titans of American industry like U.S. Steel and General Electric, were wiped out. Fortunes built over decades vanished in a matter of hours. By the end of the day, the market had lost another 12%. In the span of a few days, billions of dollars in wealth, more than the entire U.S. government budget for that year, had simply ceased to exist. The immediate aftermath was surreal. Stories, some true, some mythologized, painted a grim picture. Tales of ruined investors leaping from skyscraper windows became a dark symbol of the era, though the reality was often a quieter, more private despair. But the real impact wasn't on Wall Street, it was on Main Street. The crash was the trigger, not the cause, of the Great Depression, but it was a powerful one. As people lost their savings, they stopped spending. When spending stopped, businesses couldn't sell their products. When businesses couldn't sell, they laid off workers. When workers lost their jobs, they had no money to spend. It was a downward spiral that seemed to have no bottom. The psychological toll was perhaps the most profound. The crash didn't just destroy bank accounts, it destroyed a worldview. The Roaring Twenties were built on a bedrock of optimism, a belief in inevitable progress, and the power of the individual to achieve wealth. Black Tuesday revealed that belief to be a fragile illusion. The system that had promised so much had failed spectacularly. People lost faith not just in the stock market, but in the banks, in their leaders, and in the very idea of American prosperity. The jaunty confidence of the Jazz Age was replaced by the grim anxiety of the breadline. This crisis of confidence would define the next decade, a period of hardship and struggle that would reshape the country forever. So, what can we learn from Black Tuesday? For one, it's a powerful reminder that markets are driven by emotion as much as by fundamentals. Fear and greed are potent forces, and the herd mentality can lead to both dizzying heights and devastating crashes. It also led to crucial reforms. The creation of the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, in 1934 was a direct response to the crash, designed to protect investors and prevent the kind of reckless speculation that had run rampant in the 20s. Regulations like the Glass-Steagall Act separated commercial and investment banking, creating a firewall to protect ordinary depositors. Many of these guardrails, born from the ashes of 1929, still shape our financial system today. Black Tuesday was a defining moment in American history. It was the day the music stopped and the lights went out on the greatest economic party the world had ever seen. It serves as a permanent, humbling lesson that prosperity is never guaranteed, and that the line between confidence and hubris can be perilously thin. It was the day America stopped believing in easy money and was forced to confront a much harsher reality. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time here at Finance House. If you found this dive into financial history valuable, please hit that like button and consider subscribing and ringing the bell so you won't miss our next video. We love hearing from you, so leave a comment below with your thoughts or a topic you'd like to see us cover. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.